going live. Ooh, can you hear our pigeons? Can you hear the pigeons? They've tried everything in their power to get rid of them. They've caged them and taken them. They've put up spikes. They've done. They come back. They come back. I guess they come back.
There's a bat.
Yeah, please. No, there's pigeons up on the roof in the chimney.
Oh, on the roof.
Alrighty.
So she's using purple straps today.
Yeah, there's just a little, so Christy had asked, and I haven't done it for a while, and I feel like we need to do it, is, so today we're going to do a class for if we travel. If you're traveling long distances in the car, airplanes, those kind of things, what are some things I can do to keep my body? Because you know when you sit in that,
While you're sitting.
yeah, well, and you know that when you sit on a plane and then you get up, sometimes you really hurt, especially if you're there for hours. So we're going to do that today. So let's work. Oh wow, that is way close. It's like, let me see my pores. Ooh, I am still way close. Alrighty. I know, it's like, I know. It's like, holy cow. No, I don't need a pad. They actually can see my feet better. I had one response say, I can see your feet better if you don't use a pad. But I got too much that time. Wow. We are taking all sorts of changes. So, for those of you online, sorry we're late. We had a class in here that thought they could go later. I had to kick them out. So today we are going to talk about some things for when we travel. How do I keep my body? I'm going to be in the car for, I don't know, you go anywhere and you're in the car for more than a couple of hours, you start to really feel stiff. How do we do? Okay, so I didn't bring a sock, but I take these racquetballs that we use, and in the car I have mine in like a knee-high nylon. A sock.
Yeah, that's not idea.
Well, the ones that like the women wear that are the knee-high nylons. I don't know if Joan wears. I wear them. I buy them for this. There she is. And so I will put one of these balls in a knee-high nylon because then I can hold onto it and it can go like this behind my back. It can go here and it's not gonna float away. You know how these roll away? If they're in a sock, they don't, but you can still roll them, okay? So maybe I should take a picture of that and show it or something. But, so, you can totally, if you're on an airplane, in your car, you can't. We're doing the airplane for you. And for me, starting tomorrow. So one of the things that are so amazing about these balls, we just use them in here. You've watched us, and go ahead, get them on your feet. Your balls are probably on your chair. And so you want to feel this, just roll across. So what we're doing here, it's almost like we're doing a little mini massage. I want you to think about just your body. Here I've got the ball, my muscles and tendons, and then in my foot are next to the ball, and my skin, and then the bones. And I'm using the floor of the ball, the bone, to mush and move my flesh, my muscle, my tendons. So that's what we're looking for here, is a little bit of sensation. I found one right there. So if you find one, go ahead and just roll it around for a little bit. Finding those can be a little sensitive. Now, on an airplane, you can do this. I still would put it in a sock because then it's not going to escape and roll off down the aisle. If you put it in a sock, and I like the nylon socks better because they're just thin and flimsy, okay? And I should have brought mine out of the car, but I forgot to. So you're finding that kind of range of motion. Everything we're gonna do today, we're gonna do like you were having to sit, okay? Anybody, what's the longest you've flown? How many hours in the air?
32.
Where'd you go?
Guitar.
Huh? Guitar. Oh my gosh. I thought I was at 18. I went to the Philippines. Okay. But when you're sitting for that long, your body just stiffens, right? And one of the things we want to make sure that we're doing, you guys can't see my feet very good, is really finding a sensation. So you don't have to take off your socks, but you can take off your shoes. If you're just wearing, for me, I usually try to wear just sandals, and I will put socks in my backpack in case my feet get cold. I'll just put a pair of socks. But I will keep a ball. In fact, I've had airport security wonder what it was. What is that thing that you're in there? I mean, I'm like, it's my weapon. But no, it's just a racquetball in a sock, okay? So I will do this. You can sit on the edge of your chair. If that ball is in a sock, you can do this. You can do this in the car unless you're the driver. You cannot do this while you're driving. Please don't try while you're driving. But if you're the passenger, I do it, okay? So the next thing I want you to do, we've still got a little bit of time on this foot, this second foot. Find some sensation. Wow. Let it just kind of roll across your feet. All right, you're gonna take the ball. I want you to envision a sock, because with a sock, you can flip this just up over your shoulder and you're holding onto the sock. And then on the back of the chair, you know what? We're gonna stand up for this. So stand up and move to a wall. Your ball may fall out, it's okay, but you're gonna put this like behind here, and you're just gonna get it on your shoulder blade. So you're on a wall. Okay, get it on the shoulder blade, low back. The one place you don't really want it to go, you don't need it right on the bone of the spine, okay? So it can be up here. I love it on my neck, right there on those muscles on the neck. Doesn't that feel good? Yes?
Feels good.
Yeah. So that can be done from a chair. You flip that sock up over your shoulder and you got some stuff going on. Make sure you do both sides. The people next to you will wonder about you. You just smile at them and say, I want to feel good when I get to my destination. Right? So, I don't know what they turned that heat up to, but it's getting warm. Then I slowly let it go lower. So now I'm kind of in between the shoulder blades. And you're just going to you'll find some knots. So we're basically giving ourselves this little bit of a massage, yes? And then go ahead and come a little lower. So one of the things that we would do on our way to Hong Kong, because we had to go to Hong Kong to go to the Philippines, was they let us walk and you could do a loop when they weren't serving, stuff with the trays. And that go up and down the aisle. So you could walk and we could go upstairs and around and down. And we made loops.
On a plane?
On the plane.
Oh, yeah, double decker.
You had a double decker. So we could do that. But then they come do the trays again. You have to not. So go ahead and take it down a little lower. Let's get it down right. This is what I do all the time in the car. Is right here on the sacrum. either side of the SI joint, and then on the low back. So take it down a little lower, so it's on that SI joint first. Push it in and you can use, now I want you to think, if you're seated, so come down a little bit like you're sitting, okay? Okay, you can just hear, it's just a little up and down. You can feel that on the sacrum, okay? This increases blood flow. Movement increases blood flow. It's why we do yoga, right? You could totally close your eyes and just breathe and feel the sensation. You can't close your eyes if you're driving, okay? I just have to do these disclaimers. You said I could close my eyes. But you can totally, could you feel how sometimes your back gets so sore and you are just, now I want you to go down, I want you to take the ball a little deeper and get it right on your glute, on the back side of your glute, and just rub it around. Your seat in the car, in a plane, allows this with ease, okay? You just don't want the ball to go flipping away from you, because then you want to go find it and you forget to watch the road. Okay, go ahead and do the other side. Start right there on the sacrum, so it's up a little higher, up right below the hip, and I just push into that SI joint, and then I just kind of rub up and down it. Does that feel good? I want to answer yes.
Yeah.
Isn't that awesome? You're giving yourself a little mini massage, okay? So this can be done almost anywhere. Go ahead and take it down a little lower so it's on that glute. That's what gets so tight on me, are those glute muscles. Okay, and then go ahead and pause, grab the ball, close your eyes and just stand. How does your body feel? You've done very little of anything, but you've done enough that you feel that tingle and that heat. So come down, I want you to take your blankets off, because we usually don't have blankets on our chair. I'd like you to sit on this, okay? So I'd like you to just sit with it underneath your sit bone, okay? It's underneath, and then it's gonna go onto the hamstring too, right? So you're sitting on it, okay, it's there. Oh, whoops, how do we do this? And you're just gonna wiggle around. I can totally drive and do this, okay? I can pay attention to what's going on, okay? I am rolling along, I'm on the sit bone. I want that ball just to go around that sit bone. Think of all the muscles that are attached there. You've got your hamstring, you've got some of the glutes. There's 3 glute muscles. The big one doesn't attach there, but the medial and minimus. You've got the piriformis that goes between sit bones. You've got your pelvic floor that's around in there. You've got so much going on. So you just stick it underneath you on the seat. How is that?
Turn it on the back, I'm having a little trouble figuring out how you get such motion in the seat on the back.
Oh. This chair, can you see how it curls backwards? That's why you can't feel it.
Okay, I'm trying to go up and down.
Okay, go like this, grab your block. If you put that there, okay, then, and you can kind of push into the back, you can feel how you do that. Yeah, just kind of wiggle side to side. So you've got the ball there. But if you look, when we put this block right up against the seat, down low, there's no way it can go, because this chair curls back. So there's no way you can do that on the chair. That's why.
Put it in the mid back, let me see what you do with the ball.
With the ball with my mid back?
In a seat. I mean, I can see it in the wall, I don't know.
Okay. You know what? I've got folds of clothes on me. Okay, so seated, it's right here on the mid-back, and I don't go for the spine. I'm right in between. And then If you're driving, you really can only do this. Okay, you'll have the loop of the knee high up and over. Maybe you just get a pair of the old nylons, make it really long. You know, the ones that we use the garter belts for. I didn't ever have to do those, although I did have a garter belt. But yeah, and then I just find a place.
It's mostly sideways when you're.
Yeah, it's hard to do. I mean, if you're seated, if you're not driving, then yes, you can do all sorts of stuff. But if you're driving, what you have to do is let it go lower. You just kind of keep lowering it a little bit with the sock, okay? Now, this is probably not something, you're probably not gonna, just for safety purposes, if you're driving, you're not gonna move this ball in the middle of stop and go traffic. You might hold it in a place and just kind of let that, and you can totally hold and just put pressure on, and then you can move it, but I will take my hand, even though I'm holding it here, I can take the hand and move. Does that make sense? Yes.
No.
I will.
Oh, you said when you're holding it.
Yeah, I know, holding it and still driving. If you're in stop and go traffic, yeah. I actually take my steering wheel and I use my legs. Then I can get to it.
You actually do that in the car. Oh my goodness.
But
I used to do that when I was 14.
so did that get that mid back?
You just can't make it go down.
No, the up and down has to be, you kind of lean up a little and you let it go down, and then you find a new place to go side to side. Absolutely. If you're in a chair that you're not driving, then yeah, I will go like this and slide, and then I can get the up and down motion on that mid back. I can pretty much get my entire back here with those. Okay, great question. And good to show. Okay. So, the next thing, we did low back. Oh, we're still here. You did sit bone, do the other sit bone. Make sure you get both. One will hurt more than the other. And I want you to really feel, see that, you know the bones that we sit on, you can feel those. I want this right on the sit bone, and then you're just gonna kind of, and you know what, somebody next to you might think, she needs to go to the bathroom. Because you're wiggling. It's okay. They don't have a clue how good you're going to feel when you get out of your car.
Yeah, but these girls.
What? Yeah, I'm fine. We're not going
Maybe
there.
travel, okay.
What?
She's doing this for me. I struggle so bad when I travel.
Well, I'm traveling tomorrow, so you know I'll have this in my bag. I take it in my backpack.
For you tomorrow.
Okay, now we've done sit bones. I want you to bring it underneath your hamstring. That's the back of the thigh. Start at the top, and you're just gonna go side to side across the muscle. So your legs are gonna do this. If you're seated on a plane, you can't go clear out here unless there's nobody next to you, or unless you've bought out both seats, which is a little tough to do these days. Okay, so you might be, but look, you could totally sit here, just like, do you need to get out and go to the bathroom? No, I'm fine. I'm just warming up. I'm just using my legs. And people kind of go, can I try that? I have never done this on a plane, that people don't say that. Does that feel that much better? Really? I said, give it a try. And then I usually, that's how I've gotten so many on YouTube forward.
On the next flight, everybody's gonna do.
Everybody's got their balls. I want to be by her. She's got balls. So you can roll up and down. Can you see how I'm going forward and back? This is some of the best work you can do for those hamstrings. Let it move forward and back more. Really roll it up and down. Now you're only going to get this part. We then need to move the ball closer to the knee and go across. You feel how it goes bloop, 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 bloop? That's those hamstring muscles. It's going across the tendons Okay, and then you can go a little forward and back. This one's a little tougher, but you can totally do it. Okay, and then let's do the other side. Get it up at the top. Okay, find that hamstring, go side to side, widen out. Move it down a little. So, flights to Hawaii, right? Flights that are longer than an hour. I'm doing this. But you know I keep one of these just in my car, even just for a trip to up north, you know, up to Kaysville to see mom and dad. I am doing this. I'm either got it back behind, I'll do it just driving home. That's been a travel for me, right? Okay, move it down a little. Come side to side, let it go forward and back. Now this isn't going to get into the hip socket. You can't get into the hip socket seated very much unless you want to go down with your hands and do your massage. That looks a little awkward.
That would be weird.
That's a little awkward, okay? But all of these muscles that surround that hip, okay, I can feel right there. So your hamstring muscle actually is only about this long. From here to here where it attaches is tendon. So when you go right there, that's about where the muscle and the tendon attach. That's almost always where I feel a little bit more sensation, is right on that attachment place, okay? So you're just going forward and back, side to side. You can't really do this on your calves, seated, this, you know, but you can get a lot of the body. Now, that's getting all of this stuff that's underside next to something else, right? What can we do? Okay, you can use these for your hands. You can squeeze. You can roll like this. And just, you gotta push, put some pressure on it. Push down. When you push down, you're also engaging your shoulders, so you can kind of feel. You can always do some stretching side to side. And I would do a little bit, you know, work here and then go up and ooh, and just let your neck. I should pay the airline. I should have the airlines pay me and I'll do a class on the plane. I just need a racquetball. Okay, so you're rolling and you're, look, I'm doing little circles. The circle, it's harder to do side to side and forward and back and keep control of the ball. But in that sock, it's very easy. And you can go on the inside and just use that ball to just roll over. I always get really tight on the IT band side. So you're here, and I watch, I'm just rolling little circles, and I'm coming all the way up. And you can totally do that. Do the other side. Find little circles. You're pushing down, okay? You can totally do this while you watch a movie on the big screen or on your little screen in the back of your seat, okay? I have been known, if there's a whole back seat of a car available, to lie on the back seat and roll out while we travel. Have been known to do that, okay? So that's kind of the use of the ball. Now there's a couple other things. I've had, you put out purple straps, okay? These are not stretchy. You can use stretchy straps. And often I've stuck one in because they're a little bit smaller when I've been limited on space. Okay, so you want to take it. You've got these buckles, they're black. They have teeth on one side. You want the teeth facing in towards the midline of the body. And then you're going to take and you're going to run all the way down, keeping this flat. Now, these are really long straps. We use them for other stuff too. You can get smaller ones. You can get like 4-foot straps, Okay, and that's probably what you'd want for this, or you can use a belt. Like a belt that you can put around your waist or around your pants, okay? You're gonna go in the bottom and out the top. That's how it grabs the teeth, okay? And then you're gonna pull this down until you get a loop that is, you wanna take your hips, okay, where your hip bones are, and you want the loop, now that's a little narrow still, or a little wide still. You want it to be so that you, when you push into it, it stops. So even a little more crispy. No, that's good. Wait, how big's your loop? I've seen a loop.
On the other end.
What's going on with you, girlfriend? Pull that loop that's in your hand. Oh, no, pull the other one. Pull this single strap. No, pull that one. Yeah, pull it all the way. Keep going, keep coming, keep coming. All the way. There you go. Yeah, I'll trade you. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's wrong with it.
Oh, you have it was on the loop. Okay. This, learning how to do this was the hardest thing. Okay. Yeah, it's like, okay, it goes, I go in there, it goes out here, and then you pull here. And you're creating a loop.
Thank you. I'll never forget this.
Okay, this is going here. Don't pull yet, put your knees in. Okay, I'm gonna let you get more fun with yourself, pull it up to your thighs.
I appreciate that.
Perfect. That's too wide. There you go.
So,
Yeah,
so we-
up higher. You want it mid thigh, up higher. And move don't let the bolt, buckle thing be on your thighs. Or like right at the plastic against, move it into the middle.
So mine still needs to be tighter, Debbie?
Yes,
but mine-
just pull the strap. No, yours is okay. Okay, I want you to push into that. Tell me what you feel.
Actually, it feels pretty good.
Doesn't that feel good? I wear one of these. I just have one that goes on. I sit down. I don't have to push into it all the time, right? But I sit down, I pull it up. So Christy, even higher. Get it up to where you, when you push into it, you feel it up into the hip bones. Do you feel that?
Talking about pushing out.
Mhm.
Okay.
You're pushing out. Okay. Doesn't that feel good? Sit up tall, and you just sit. And then if you're done, you just kind of let it go. And you sit. Now I have done, the stretchy bands that are round. I've done those. The problem with them is they roll. But you can do those, and they're easier. Or I just have a belt. I took one that I got small, that's only, see, these are 10-footers. You don't need 10-footers, but if you get a 6-footer and you just push into that, you can just use a belt. You can just roll the belt up and put it. Do you remember when we had these kind of belts that were, I've got some in my dress, I had some in my dress-up box, so I just confiscated from the dress-up box. So you push into that strap, you feel that sensation, okay? Yours needs to be a tad tighter. No, yeah, put it up, just pull. There you go. And then release it and notice what you feel in your hips. You feel the warmth kind of heading up through. Okay, that is just, do you remember when we talked about widening our hips? That is what we're doing, okay? This gets into the hip, where the ball just rolled kind of topically wherever the ball was. This actually moves the femur bone away. When we sit, we tend to sit like this, we tend to sit like this. Okay, we do. Often chairs put us that way. If we happen to be reading, on a Kindle, okay? We're like this, or a book. We'll be back against here, okay? You can totally just go in, find that stretch. You can move your feet a little bit wider. Go ahead and try that. Push into there. You're gonna get a little bit more. This is that pull in while you push out. And so you're finding that sensation and you're just kind of like, and you can actually do, for my hip, I do this. I'll do some little shifting forward and back. Do you feel that in your hip? And then don't sit here for hours. You come in and out of it, you release it, just bring your legs together, okay? If you're like, oh, I still can't release it, then just loosen your strap. And then come back in and tighten it back up. Does that make sense? So that's one of the very best things you can do as you travel. And I have one of these in my car as well. I have it in my car, I keep it in my bag. I want to get to where I'm going and not be in so much pain that I can't then do, right? And then release. And so there's another little thing you can do, we're going to do for just a minute. You're going to push into it and breathe. So, and release. So the inhale pushes in, come up and hold your breath for a little bit, and then exhale, release, and hold. Inhale, push in, hold, exhale, release, and hold. Inhale, push in, and hold, exhale, release, and hold. This can happen, okay? One of the things I try to do when I'm traveling is every half hour, I'm doing this. And it doesn't, I mean, here, this is something that can be done. I can inhale, I can pause, I can exhale and release. This is one of those things that just really will make a difference. Make sense? Okay, go ahead. Any questions? If you are happening, you can take this a little bit tighter. Go ahead and bring it down to your calves. This one has to be even tighter, okay? You're gonna push into that. Notice that you can feel that. Make sure, yeah. Clear up into the hips, can you? Yeah.
Why are we saying push in? This is counterintuitive to me. Push in is that way. Push out is that way.
Push into the strap.
Into the strap. Okay.
Into the strap is what I'm saying. Great question, thank you. So you're pushing or just widening into that strap. Maybe that's a better way to say it. Okay, when I do it down low, it changes where I feel it in my hips. Can you feel how it's more on the back side into the glutes? And then you release it. It's not gonna fall down. You push in and you release it. You push in and you release it. You push in and you release it, okay? This is one that you can also put one foot forward. Just put one foot, doesn't matter which one. Push into the strap. And you can feel it all the way down the side and even onto the back side of the muscle. Bring it back, take it forward, go wide. Yeah, and come back, take it the first one. I don't know about you, but my thighs start to burn. Okay?
It's a good one.
And then come back, go forward. And so honestly, a lot of this stuff, I understood the principle of the thighs widening, go ahead and release the strap, okay? Make sure that you're also finding motion. So I do get up, there's always a time, pretty much, unless you're puddle jumping to California or to Nevada. You don't really have time to get up. But get up, you know, go ahead, stand up. You're on the plane. You can walk up and down the aisle, and I do. I walk up and down the aisle, and I'm doing this kind of stuff. You have room, okay? I'm not so worried about how I look. I'm more important how I feel. So just find some movement, right? Then when you get back by the bathroom, there's a little bit more space. I always come down, put my hands on my knees, reach my sit bones back. I am squeezing my shins together. They're not moving anywhere. It's like what we did when we do this, but there's no block. So pull that together, widen there, and stretch. Feel the sit bones widen, lengthen through the back. Go ahead, and all that work we did with pelvic floor and belly last week, pull that belly up. Reach and stretch, and then go ahead and stand up. Wiggle through. Doesn't that feel good? Okay. So I do that a couple times. There, whenever I go back to the restroom, there is always a line.
I'm in a big plane. I put my foot up against the wall of the cockpit area.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's perfect. You have to be okay with maybe somebody thinking you look a little silly. Because, so there's another thing you can do if you don't want to go clear to the cockpit. You might not have an aisle seat, okay? But if you do, that foot's on the seat and you're just leaning. So give it a try. So you're standing, you've got this much space in the aisle. You don't have much space. You're up here, put a forearm down, and you're just taking the knee that way without letting it move. So even pull the knee further over your toes, Christy. Yeah, yeah, yes. And then go ahead and stand up. And have we ever done this wobble in class where we just wiggle? Yeah, that's what we're doing, is just creating space. So with the ball, we can't do that. We have to find movement. Go ahead and try the other side. Okay. Honestly, here's your aisle if you're in a plane. If you're in a car, you can't do the stand-up until you stop. And then when you stop, make sure you're stopping every hour. Go to the bathroom, make sure you have a ton of water, right? And you're drinking water. I have a brother who's like, you can't drink water while you're traveling, Deb, you have to stop. And I'm like, yeah, I do, and I'm going to. I had a friend that was so annoyed because I drank so much water. She says, I don't drink because I don't want to have to stop. And I'm like, no, we're stopping. And then I had another friend that she'd had hip surgery. We stopped every hour and she did her exercises so that her hip. So do the second side. I want you to look at the space I'm creating. I'm not into anybody else's space, okay? If you don't have an aisle seat, I always shoot for an aisle seat. I don't ever want the window. If I can, I take the aisle, okay? If I know somebody that, like, sometimes I'll take the middle, if Blair's gonna be on the aisle, right? Because I'm like, I need your seat. And you just stretch. And you find, so I'm shooting my knee over my toes, but I'm not letting my whole body, your whole body can move, but I'm just pulling. I'm just going for this kind of a pull. Put your forearm on your thigh so that when you do that, you get a little bit more lean, a little bit more weight onto this foot. Push into the foot that's on the chair, okay? You just might look like I'm just up stretching, right? Okay, and then you're gonna come up and let it move, okay? You will find, I have never had anybody kind of go, are you like, I have never had anybody that's been around me kind of go, show me what to do. Because we all feel this way when we travel, okay? So you're finding that motion. Okay, and then before you sit back down, you're gonna walk back up to the bathroom. Okay, you're gonna find that little bit of space, that you have a little bit more space. You're gonna come here again, You're pulling the shins, are coming, try to pull towards each other, let the sit bones go wide and just push. If you are doable, I will put my rear end against the lavatory on the plane, and I will actually do a forward fold. I keep my knees bent, or I can keep them straight, but I'm pushing. I don't really like to put my hands on the floor, so I'll put them on my feet, and I'll just stretch. Okay, but that sometimes is really intense for a lot of people. Yeah, Christy, I love the shift and the move. Pretty easy. But how does your body feel? How does your body feel now?
Good.
Can't you feel how it's like, this is better?
That would really help.
This is
I
better.
want to keep a little ball.
Yeah.
That's just when I get a pain, but weakness.
Uh-huh.
I never used it for therapy.
Yeah. So it's very, very beneficial, okay? So there are a couple other things you can do if you happen to be where it used to be. Anymore, traveling, you're packed in like sardines. There really isn't a ton of space, okay? But I will do this. I'll stand a little bit behind my seat. So this person in that seat is going to see the back side of me, but I'll come and come crossover, okay? So, yeah, get a little bit wider. Make sure this foot, you're out in the aisle, you're crossing, okay? And then you really are just kind of trying to twist. So the knees going that way, my body's
And you're still on the plane doing it.
I'm still be on the plane doing this, and I'll just take a little twist. You can do some of these seated. They're a little better if you stand. Okay. You just have to be okay. Yeah. Try the other
I
side.
worry about my husband being embarrassed of me.
You know what? I wouldn't. It's more important for me to feel better. My husband long ago realized, yeah. So go ahead and try the other side. So you're just revolving now. We're going to sit back down in a minute. You can totally do this seated. We can get the twist seated. Go ahead and just because we can, will you put your blanket back? Because it's a better seat, okay? Ideally, in your seat, and you may take a pillow. I have seen people use those neck rests as a pillow. Ideally, we want our hip bone higher than our knee when we sit. That's for the psoas muscle. That's for it releases a little bit. Remember, we've done this. Put your hand on your hip, walk it down into the groin area, just into that area, and then pick up the leg and you'll feel that ropey. Just feel that little ropey muscle. Mine's not very little. Mine's really big. They just oohed and awed over that, but when I have it straight, how come that can be so big? Okay, then put your foot back down and feel how it softens. So whenever the knee is higher or lifted, that muscle is engaged. So if we want to release it, we have to put the leg down. It has to be lower than the hip bone. That's just anatomically for anybody, okay? So we can totally come up to the edge of your chair here. So we've used the balls, we've used the straps. Now we just really want to move, but there is no way we can even move up and down the aisles, okay? Then you can go like this. You can reach around. All of us have an armrest. You're gonna grab it. You'd be here. This hand is going here, and you are going to twist. And I wouldn't do it fast. I would inhale here, and then I'd come back. And then I'd go to the other side. Inhale, hold it. We can reach here in class. You might not be able to do that. I don't know if you can get your hand through the cushions very easily, but you can hold on to that armrest. The other hand is coming here. We've done this before, okay? So you're and you can totally go side to side, move with your breath, okay? And then we can totally do this. And I do this all the time. Reach forward like you're doing the cow portion of cat and cow, and then you're gonna come back. We do this in our chairs every week. So you're finding that sensation, okay? Somebody might think you're weird, okay? That's okay. That is their choice and their right.
You'll never see him again.
You'll never see him again, or if you do, you'll be spry and moving, and they'll be, oh, my back is killing me, right? So one of the things I find is I will always do these. I will always do twists, okay? I will even lift up and hold on to the seat behind me, or just put my hands together and put them on the seat behind me. I rarely put my seat back. Okay, I usually just leave it up, and then I push in, and I can find this stretch right on your triceps. Get your hands a little bit behind you more than, yeah, Joyce. And let me show you what they're doing. They're here. I try to get the thumbs into my neck, into there, and then I pull the elbows in, and then I just stretch through here, right? So I find that give and that stretch. And I do that seated. And then I'll roll through shoulders. You can do wrists. You can do ankles. So you are really trying to find just this, what movement, you know, what can I do? Okay, does that make sense? So I feel like we need to get up and move just a little bit because we're not in a plane. But that is kind of some of the routine that I do, right?
So I feel like we all better buy tickets to Hawaii.
Oh, I know. Let's go. We'll just do our yoga on the way. We'll do yoga in Hawaii every day.
Shut her down.
No, this sounds awesome. I am on board. Blair will come too. We'll have so much fun. Okay, go ahead and stand up. Okay, this, if you've got a ton of space, you can do, when you get outside your car, put your hands on your hood. Put your hands on the doorknob. Put your hands on something and find a stretch. Go ahead and walk back in. The movement in and out, lengthening the spine is one of the best things we can do. Take it back, find a reach. So every rest stop, I'm not up and down. Go ahead and walk back in. I'm not like doing a full sun salutation in that. But go ahead and step 1 foot back. Okay, come into a lunge. I don't know about you, but the minute I do that, the calf on that back foot goes, oh, thank you. Okay, so lean forward and you can find a lunge. You can do all of this. Maybe it's a table. When we drive, when we're going southern Utah, Arizona, California, we always go past Beaver. Have you ever been to the Creamery? Okay, they have those outside tables. I'm waiting for my food. I am here. Okay, and then go ahead and if you're like, well, now what do I do? I'm in this lunge. Just hop this back foot in and step up. Change legs. Go back. Okay. Find first the stretch in your calf. Really reach the back heel towards the floor. Okay. See if you can not only do it this way, but do it so it's straight back. So the toes, the heel. So pick up your heel a little, Joyce. Pick up your heel. Go towards Larry with your heel. Move your heel towards Larry. There you go. Can you see my foot? Instead of here, I'm here. Yeah. It'll stretch your calf a little more, okay? And then go ahead into a lunge. Holding on. Let your legs move. And then come back up. Move back. Find that stretch. Round through the spine, stick the rear end out. Round through the spine, stick the rear end out. Round through the spine, stick the rear end out. Yeah. Go ahead and stretch through the shoulders and come all the way up. So, you know a ton of stuff. There's some other stuff you can do seated.
Now, your videos dated, if I search for this.
Yes.
I search for dated, okay.
Come all the way around. And I will label this travel.
What?
Travel yoga.
Travel here.
Travel yoga will be on the thing too. Okay. It's on Instagram and it's also on my YouTube channel. So it's on either. If you want to download it to do on the plane, you can actually do that. Just put your headphones in. So this is another one. This one's hard for a lot of people. Okay. We're going to make some shifts. Yeah. Fine. Ooh, flex this foot. And then you're just going to let this wiggle. Oh, yeah. Gently. Up and down. Up and down. It may not move much. You might be able to really get a great stretch. You might just kind of go, nope, I'm just here. But this can be done. This one you have to be careful because your foot or your knee might go in, if you're on a plane, might go into someone else. Okay. Go ahead and bring this leg up. Bring it in. If you can get the foot on your thigh and you're just pulling it in. And you can do all of this kind of stuff too. In and out. This is the stuff I have to have for my hip. This movement coming across the body is like, yeah, it's what really hurts on mine. And then you take it down and you wiggle it out. Try the other side. Try the other foot. You might need to bring it on a block. I don't know if you can get it that deep. Bring it up. Yeah, use your pants. Bring it across, okay? And find the wiggle. Just find the wiggle. You might want to go for the stretch in the hip and come down and lean forward in a car. Totally doable. Totally doable. Probably not if you're driving. Kind of need your feet. One of those that the gas pedal is on the, maybe if, I wouldn't even do this if you were on cruise control. Although I have been known to go like this and put my foot on the seat.
Which car do you drive?
I know, like stay away from her. Yeah, fine. And only really if I'm going on a long trip, okay? I have been also known to do this. Driving. Driving. Because I can drive and I'm getting into my sit bone, I can stretch out my quad.
That's scary.
But you gotta have 2 feet. You don't
I don't need 2 feet, I just need one. It goes from the gas to the brake.
Yeah, but then you've done that, I already drive this way, I'm already on it.
Would you have to pull over though, put your foot back down?
I don't, I just have it sitting right next to it, I just go like this. You gotta go forward with yours.
I actually had a broken foot. 12 weeks I could put no pressure on that. I learned to drive, so I can. So I don't do it at the same time and I don't switch while I'm in the car, but I can get that foot out while I'm driving. That's not a big deal. She said. I can drive totally fine left-footed. I can get that. I've got the pressure. I just developed it when I did this, so I practice. But this is not in California traffic.
By the door, how do you do that?
Not Los Angeles.
This is not high traffic. This is, you know, you're long distance traveling and you don't have a ton of traffic on the road, right? That's what this is. Any questions, any thoughts? Any other places?
Cindy, this is really interesting today.
Yeah,
I think it's been great because we all travel a little bit and
We
we
travel.
don't think about these things.
well, we get out of the car and we're like, oh,
Right.
we get out of the plane and we're
Right.
like, oh my gosh, and we still might. Because one of the things I'm finding with age is that it just tightens back up. As loose as I get, it tightens back up. I gotta get loose again, okay? All righty.
Can you sit quietly in church and not do something?
Have you never sat next to me in church? I am a wiggler. I'm a wiggler. So if I've got my legs crossed, this is another one. Go ahead and cross them. I will come down, get around. Okay? Then pull your thighs wide. Push. You're holding. I'm getting a great hip stretch. Now, if you can't get the foot around, you can just totally hear, but you're gluing those thighs, the shins together. That's okay. Yep, Christy's got it.
Very good.
She's got it good. Just try it. You're pushing that in, you're widening here. It's the same thing you're doing with the strap. You don't need the strap at church. You just do this. And I will do this. I don't know if you've ever watched Blair. He'll do this in church. He can. He's a man. He's in pants. Right?
Well, it's not busy, I do it too, I just.
Yeah.
This is what
You can do it. We
Yeah.
can't.
You gotta sit up. You gotta flex a foot. You gotta find some stretch going on. But do both legs. Come across. So hug the shins together. They're just hugging. And then you try to widen your hips. Notice what happens to just, can you see the difference in my body? Here I am just doing this. And then the minute I try to widen my hips, can you see what you sit up taller. It gets you space in the outside of the hip. This is like a fabulous hip stretch. So there's just all sorts of things. When you come out of it, you got to wiggle. Okay, let yourself find some space. More often than not, I have a midi to a long dress on in church, so I can do this. I am a wiggler. I am a wiggler. There's no question. Oh, and that one's sensational. Flex your foot, spread your toes. Yeah, that will take, no, when you're up here too. Flex your foot, spread your toes. It will take some of the pressure off of that hip. Okay, this is a sickle foot. Take the inside edge and push it forward. Inside, there you go. So that's basically like a walking foot. This is a sickle foot, turned in. We want it turned out, yeah. So you're pulling pinky toe towards the outside ankle. And then you just lengthen up. It is sensational. This is the side, this is the hip that's hurting. Breathe. You don't have to push it down, don't push it down. Just sit up tall and engage this leg. And then just let the sit bone and pushing that leg down at all. I've crossed it over. I'm trying to move into the sit bone and just widen that. And you can do that. You have to have this engagement. You have to feel a little bit of the shin hugging in and a little bit of the hips going wide. We actually have an acronym for it. Shins in, S-I, thighs out, T-I. Sit up. Shins in, thighs out. Go ahead and release. Bring it down. Wiggle it out. We're going to do the other side. I think we'll probably just end here in our chair today. Come back up. Flex this foot. Spread through your toes so you're engaging. Find the pinky toe. Yes, I saw that. Can you feel the difference? You pull that pinky toe down and you engage the outside of the leg. Okay? Feel this side is pushing that way. There's just some engagement there. And then you're not pushing the knee down. You might be clear up here and you're just trying to widen. Shins in, thighs out. Sito. Shins in, thighs out. Shins in, thighs out.
Oh, sorry.
Hello, we're not
How
quite
much
done.
longer?
We're just almost ending.
Okay, we're just having training.
Okay. And then release. She might not have class until 9. Okay, so pause. Put your hands on your thighs, lengthen through your body, close your eyes. As you get to the end of your destination, one of the most important things we do, I think, is we go, oh, thank you, body, right? We offer a little prayer of gratitude for this body that is so amazing, that just did all of that travel and let us do that work and lets us go places. Take a deep breath, bring your hands to your heart center. Namaste. Yes? Okay.
Debbie, this was great today.
Awesome. Thank
Really
you.
different and.
Very
we all need
different.
it. We need
We
it.
definitely need it.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay.
I think